I kind of like that name. Volume. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to another Marvel Snap video. If you are new, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. We are working our way towards Infinite already. It's, 3:30 a.m. I've been grinding. I had a stream today, and then, I've been grinding a little bit later in the evening. I did, in fact, get Isca, and that's the main point of this video, is talking about Isca the Unbeaten, because she is absolutely a powerhouse this season. No surprise, we kind of all figured she would be very strong just based off how she reads, and she's good. She's really good. I threw her in a random zombie deck that's, just kind of zombies with chamber, and it's been working really well. I'll show you the win rate in a second. I actually have the statistics of those, and I'll talk about like how I think she's going to be the most meta thing in the early season, because the battle pass card that is this bozo is kind of not good at the moment. It's not that he's bad, it's that the meta doesn't suit him, and he's kind of waiting for things to come out to support him, which I have a whole video talking about when I think his meta will be, and I think it'll be towards the end of this month. I think. If the rock things are his thing, then I think it'll be the end of this month. Because he's kind of like Blink, but objective-based Blink, if that makes sense. So, but worse, because he doesn't guarantee to always pull something up higher. So it's kind of weird. He's weird. He's in a weird spot. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's a worse version of Blink, because you have to work through his objective. But Isca the Unbeaten, or the Broken, is very, very strong, and I've had very good success with her, even without running an end of turn deck, which, by the way, if you're running end of turn right now, this is your unit. This brings back end of turn 100% if they're ever struggling. This unit is amazing. Amazing. So, Isca the Unbeaten. End of turn, if you're losing this location, double this card's power. She's a 4/3. Yeah. This makes it to where you're pretty safe to play her on, and you could play her turn 4 and you're relatively safe, because she won't get to above 10 power for at least 2 rotations, unless you're running some type of amp deck to amp her up. There's ways around it. You would want to protect her then to make sure that she can't get targeted. She's really good into Fang Foom. She's really good to anything, honestly. Like, it's just not Fang Foom. If there is something on the field that is sizable and you place her there, she will eventually pass it up with how she works. I will say that she's best in the back line, though. That way you're protected from Cosmic Ghost Rider, you're protected from Fang Foom grabbing her, you're protected. Just, you want to put her in the back if possible, because you don't want her to be targeted by anything if you can prevent it. So if you have an armor, you can use that to protect her. But like, she's super good, super powerful. Just know that whenever others start to figure this out, she's going to be everywhere. It's be like Scarlet all over again. So here's the deck that I'm running currently. It is just a zombie deck, and it's nothing too crazy. It's pretty basic. I have Majestic Wingbeat in there to help out with the cost reduction of like Shou-Lao, Fang Foom, Taskmaster, Arnim Zola if I choose to use that. The Hunger to get the Horde going for +3. Kitty Pryde Chamber. Chamber is there to just, if I have my handful of all these, +5 units or cost 5 or higher units, I could just get him to a sizable unit size and he'll be good on his own for a minute. Hope Summers for energy. You can kind of spam Kitty Pryde on her along with Scarlet Zombie Witch, which is like the whole point. You put Zombie, Scarlet Witch, Hope Summers, and you start spamming Kitty on that spot with your skills, and you can ramp up some really nice energy for your turns. Isca the Unbeaten, or Isca the Broken, she can hold down her own area. Doesn't matter, you put her, she will be fine, as long as, I would say, if you put her on her own zone, make sure that she's already losing the zone. That way she can start ramping up, because then it's even scarier to play against her. We have Zombie Giant Man, which goes in the zombie deck because he is your main win condition if you have a big enough horde. Shou-Lao pairs with Kitty Pryde nicely because you can double stack things each turn and get like +10, +15, around there on your Kitty or whatever it is you're playing. Arnim Zola is actually kind of crazy in this deck because you could just destroy Zombie Giant Man. You could destroy Isca the Unbeaten. You can destroy essentially anything of the like major players of your win conditions. Anything but Taskmaster is probably worth destroying, and you'll get value out of it. No one's going to complain about having two Fang Fooms on the field. No one's going to complain about re-killing the Zombie Giant Man to reboost him up again. You can apply this to Isca, and then you have two Iscas on the field that are contesting, which is very strong. So it just kind of flows. Scummy, but it flows. And then, of course, Fang Foom's in this deck because he's easy to play with a Hope Summers. Really easy to play. With a Majestic Wingbeat and Hope Summers, you can get him to be really, really easy to play. So this deck kind of flows. It's not perfect. There are going to be games you're like, I think I have to surrender due to like maybe cards coming in at a weird order. You don't have Chamber early, but you have all your big cards. It can be a little awkward. There would be games where you might have to just, fold early before you lose too many cubes. But in most of your games, if you just open up with like the Hunger, Kitty Pryde, Chamber, Zombie, Scarlet Witch, or like, and draw into Isca or something, it will flow really nicely, and you'll be able to contest zones really nicely and play off really important fields like Bar Sinister. Play the Hunger on Bar Sinister, get a plus 15 Horde just off the spot. There's gonna be like really awesome fields that you can utilize to your advantage with this deck, and really like boost ahead of your opponent and feel comfortable of snapping. Now, let's go to the win rate of this deck. Here it is. It is a 60% win rate. Let me just make sure that you guys see this. I'm 93 right now. I'm slowly working up to 100 pretty consistently. And I'm winning 60% of the time. Net cubes is 61. We can go a little bit more in detail with it. Here we go. 86 total games played today, or I guess last night, or whenever March 3rd was. Won 173 cubes, lost 113. Now, let me justify the losses. Some of these losses are justified due to like the deck's just not performing up to par or me having to surrender. There are other losses that I played before I put Isca in this deck, and I was losing straight out because like I didn't have Isca to contest, which was like, I would say 30-something games since, probably close to 20 to 30 games I've had Isca in this deck now, and it's performed a lot better. It's gone up 10% win rate, so Isca is definitely a factor in winning consistently. I will also say a good portion of these losses are due to RNG. Just field luck. Sometimes field just, make you lose. Or if you misplay and it's 50-50 whether you win or not due to the opponent playing something, and it's kind of like the game is tied and it's whoever makes the right play wins. There's also that to factor. But if you're talking about consistency and winning through just how strong the deck is performing really well. Really well. In fact, you can kind of see 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 8. Like, I'm on a hot streak since Isca's been in this deck. Like, it's disgusting. But once again, consistency versus meta. Like, the meta is going to change pretty quickly, and I do imagine in the next couple days, Isca is going to be a problem. So if you're not grinding up early and quick, the end of turn decks might come back, and you might have to play Ghost to even try to contest into those like end of turn decks. Like, it sounds stupid, but Ghost could come back because Isca is so powerful. I don't know if that's going to be like what actually happens, but like Ghost might have to come back because of how strong Isca is. Like, I'm not like talking her up because I'm trying to like make you guys think that she's broken. She's really good, and this is like the only thing that can counter her is remove the abilities from all end of turn cards here. So you might have to consider using Ghost if this keeps up, which is a bummer because I don't even think Ghost is that good, to be honest. A 3/4 that just cancels end of turns is kind of niche. But like, if Isca does revolutionize the meta, you're gonna have to use her, unfortunately, just to contest, because it is very crazy how strong she can get. And I'm not even running her in an optimized deck. I literally threw her in zombies because I thought she could just fit. Because she can kind of fit anywhere. She works anywhere. She's just a unit that can contest zones for you while you build up other locations. That being said, I think there's a deck. I don't know if this will be the exact deck people run, but there's a deck that I kind of threw together that I think could be really OP and grinding cubes for infinite early on in the season. The first few weeks at least, until people start using counters to end of turn. And I think that's all because of Isca. I think you run the end of turn Invisible Woman First Steps deck. Kinda. You run Sunspot, you run Bruce Banner. I'm not a fan of Bruce Banner, but you might as well run him. Havoc, Surge, Moondragon, Magic, Invisible Woman First Steps, Jocasta, Drax, because he's doing something very similar to Isca, where he's getting bigger if you're losing the location. Mr. Fantastic, which I think is a questionable card when it comes to value, but he definitely can be used. Prodigy, and Isca. You kind of see like how this deck could be a problem. You play Surge, you start spamming things out, and you kind of contest everything because you're getting bigger, you're moving Drax, you're just contesting, you're spamming Isca with multiple end of turns by force, because Invisible Woman and Jocasta, you're forcing her to like rank up, which is a problem, by the way. And if you use Prodigy on Isca, you have 2. So, or if you use Prodigy on Invisible Woman, you can proc her multiple times. Like, this deck is really gross on paper. You have to test it. And it's also really cheap in budget. Like, there's nothing above a 5 cost in this deck. You could alter it, probably make a chambered version of this deck. We're using, like, Chamber, Anora, and, like, some other things in here. But I think there's something here. I think this deck could be really gross for this meta in the early stages of the new season. Will it stay strong? I do not know. It depends if people switch into Ghost. It depends if players use things to contest this. Like maybe Fang Foom still viable against this. You have to just be careful where you place your Isca. I think placing her in the back is your best location. But I think in general, like we're talking about how strong Isca is, she's revolutionizing end of turn. And I think she can fit in mostly any deck because she's a 4 cost that kind of just helps any deck out. Like she doesn't put you behind. If anything, she contests this location for you and you can focus on your other locations as she does her own thing. Even if they don't contest it, that is one spot place. That's one place that they're not playing that you can play off of then. So, Isca, is she worth getting? Absolutely. She's a busted unit by far. She's on par with like pre-nerf Star-Lord and pre-nerf Fang Foom. I think she's on that level. In fact, I could argue her better than Fang Foom because she gets bigger than Fang Foom quite easily. It's crazy how much you can contest with this unit. Really stupid. And if they try to fight into it, they have 3 turns to figure it out. If not, she's going to be too big to stop. So, really good card. So yeah. End of turn. I think end of turn is back. I think end of turn is going to be a major player in this season. Do I think it's the best deck? I don't know. I don't think it's going to outperform a Hela deck. Maybe. Like, Hela's really hard to compete with because she has Fang Foom in her deck. She's got, like, big things in her deck. You could literally just throw Isca in that deck, and it would probably function just fine because you could just copy the top card of your deck and make an Isca. So, like, multiplying her is fun. So, oh, you could dupe her. You can mass spam her. You could use Zola on her to multiply her. You could use Nico to multiply her. You could definitely multiply her, just have nothing but Iscas all over the field. You could probably do that. I don't know how good it would be, but it's people love copying things, so it wouldn't surprise me if I see it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think of Isca the Unbeaten. And, yeah. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. Peace.